Let's find out who's the T102sportsnow.com Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. This student-athlete showed their mettle in competition and put up incredible numbers, just like Fanelli, Evans, and Patel. With over 100 years of combined experience, the attorneys at Fanelli, Evans, and Patel provide results you can count on.
Back with another Fanelli, Evans, and Patel, T102sportsnow.com Athlete of the Week. This week's honor going to Nativity senior guard Trey Keating. Trey, thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So wanted to catch up with you before the holidays, but things got a little crazy there. I know you guys had a day off school for the storm and everything. So we'll kind of try to pick up where we left off. First off, just right off the top, the fact that your name is literally Trey is almost too perfect to how your life has kind of turned out. Did your parents know that you'd be shooting Treys when you were born?
They must have. There must have been something. But
it's unbelievable.
Yeah. My dad, he's a junior. So instead of Francis III, they named me Trey. And it's a very fitting name for basketball, and I love it.
I would say, yeah.
People don't even believe my name's actually Trey. They think it's like Trevor or something else, but no, it's actually Trey.
Yeah, it's the stuff that legends are made of when it comes to that kind of thing. So it's fitting to your story. And getting into some of your accomplishments here, why you were selected to Athlete of the Week. This was actually a couple weeks ago before break. Back on December 19th, you dropped 45. You become the all-time leading scorer in Nativity history. I think that record stood for about a decade with Jeff Yorty, who's back in the class of 2015. So you being a four-year starter, you're well on pace for 2,000 career points. I think you're just about 100 shy. When you think about your place in school history among some of the other Nativity greats, what legacy do you kind of want to leave atop Lawton's Hill?
It's the team stuff. The individual stuff's great, but more importantly is that those banners that you see in the gym about league championships, district championships, and then ultimately a state championship. Those are the legacy I want to leave behind, is being part of a great team. The individual stuff will come, but I'm more worried about our team success.
Yeah, and you think about some of that individual stuff. When you were named first team All-State last year, I think you mentioned you had some goals heading into your senior year. It was a league, a district, and a state title. Team-wise, what's the focus going forward here as you guys battle back from sort of a tough start in league play?
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rocky start for us. Tough non-league games, and then we were battling those league games. Didn't go our way. But, we're just trying to build that momentum back up. We have Lords tonight, so try to get a win there and then take us into the second half of those league games and just try to build momentum going, try to make a run for the league championship and in the districts and so on.
Yeah, I know you're a team player, but since this is Athlete of the Week, we do have to talk about you individually a lot. Obviously, you're known as a scorer. 47 threes this season, 285 in your career. Shout out your dad for providing me with a ton of stats. 27.3 a game this year so far. That's tops in Class A. What is your process, Trey, to stay so sharp? Is there a certain amount of shots that you feel like you need to get up over the course of a day? And then do you feel like right now you're playing your best basketball?
Going in, it's all pretty much off-season work, just getting into the gym, getting shots, whether it's off the dribble, catch and shoot, and then playing a lot of games, playing with a heavy AAU schedule all throughout the spring and summer, getting games at a high level, fast pace. I think it really helps IQ, confidence, and just your form and technique. I think it's being able to play at that high level makes it a little bit easier when you're coming back into the school games where it's a bit slower of a pace. But just a lot of reps. And even in the during the season, going to practice early, staying after, getting shots up on the machine, that plays a huge role. It's just, I think a lot of it is confidence. I think I've put in so much work. I've taken so many shots that I don't think about it when I'm out there on the court. I see an opening and I'm just letting it fly because I know I've put in all that work.
Yeah, and if the Schuylkill League had a three-point contest, which Eli Doyle and I have been lobbying for, we want to make that happen. Do you think you'd win it? And then who are some of the other shooters that you either play with in AAU or you've gotten to know over the years in the league that you think would give you a run for your money?
Well, first, I'm confident in my ability. I think I could win, but you never know. There's a lot of great players in our league. A lot of them I played AAU with, like Christian Alvarez, Shazir Bethea, Ian McKeegan, Tyre Mead. They're all great players.
Right.
Another great shooter, Alan Evans. I think he'd give me a good run for the 3-point contest. And then you could even throw in that Kingsley Johnson from Tri-Valley. He stepped up big this year, shooting the ball. There's a lot of great players and a lot of guys that could shoot it this year. It's fun to watch all the explosive scoring for this league, and I'd love a 3-point contest. That would be fantastic.
It'd be incredible because, some of the shooters around the league, to have that kind of showcase. And you're right, like a lot of explosive scoring around the league from both you guys and some other squads in Division II. It's going to be a tight race down the stretch. As far as you individually, do you remember like what was the most threes you knocked down in a game? And you think that's something that you could maybe break this year?
In a high school game, I think my most is 9, I think. Okay. My freshman year too. But in AAU, I think I've hit maybe 15 in the game. It's one of those times you get hot. There's no scouting reports. They leave you open a little bit, and then when you get hot, there's pulling it from anywhere. And it was just one of those days.
So I always ask like shooters around the league, especially ones that go to Pottsville, like shooting in Martz Hall versus shooting in other venues in the area. Is there a difference? And then kind of what's your perspective on that? Is there one you prefer?
Oh, well, I do love shooting at my home gym, Nativity. I think that's a pretty nice gym to shoot in, but nothing compares to Martz Hall. I love shooting in that gym. It's a bigger court too, so I think it frees me up. When teams are playing tight on me, I have more room to run around, get out in the open space. But there's just something about the lighting, the atmosphere. It's just a fantastic gym. And then getting to practice there a lot for AAU is just I've never been so happy to go to practice because I love that gym. It is so nice, and I do love shooting in there. That is my favorite gym to shoot in.
March Madness will be fun. Hopefully you guys will be able to sneak your way in there, and we'll see Trey in the league tournament. Now, let's talk a little bit about your background as an athlete. Do you play any other sports, and was basketball kind of always your favorite growing up?
Growing up, football was actually my favorite, but then I ended up getting herniated disc in middle school, and I stopped playing. I was a better basketball player, so I didn't want to risk injury. But I golf, and I play baseball too. So, yeah, always playing a sport, always busy.
All right. As a knockdown shooter, I feel like there had to be, some guys in the NBA or college that you looked up to. Obviously, you wear number 30. I'm going to guess that's a Steph Curry homage. But anyone in particular that, inspired you growing up watching NBA and college ball?
Well, big Steph Curry guy. I don't want to say I play like Steph because, Steph Curry he's far better than I am and probably ever will be. But I try to model my game after him, the way he has to come off his screens and fly around the court to get openings. And then once he has that split second where he can get that shot off, he gets it off. And I feel like I try my best to play the way he does. And his teammate, Klay Thompson, especially the AAU games, I'm more of like a catch and shooter. I developed into more of an all-around scorer. I've been working hard on that, but for a long time, I was really just a catch and shooter. And I think Klay Thompson was probably the best in his prime at that.
Yeah, definitely a few good models to try to emulate their style of play there. We covered some of your present accomplishments with what led to getting you Athlete of the Week. And we talk about your background and your past as an athlete. Kind of touching on the future here. I know you still got a lot of basketball left in your Nativity career. If the season ended today, I think you'd still be one of the most decorated scorers in the history of the state. But when you sort of take a moment and you reflect on how things have been going and kind of dream about, where you might be next year at this time, what comes to mind?
Man, I don't even want to think about it ending.
Right.
I love the journey we've been on. A lot of ups, a lot of downs, but it's been fun. It's been a great 4 years. I'm just looking to make that one last push But next year, I hope to be playing college basketball somewhere. I don't know where yet, but yeah, just continue my basketball career somewhere and just keep playing the game as long as I can. And that's what I ultimately want to be doing.
Absolutely. And I know we touched on it a little bit already, but your PA flight, travel ball and things like that. Tell us a little bit about how that's helped develop your relationship with Coach Burke and how much you think that, getting to play the game outside of just high school basketball has kind of helped craft you into one of the best scorers in the league.
Well, first, Coach Burke, he is one of the most dedicated guys I know. He is always talking basketball, always in the gym, always trying to get us better. And I love that. I love how, whether it's with the flight, getting us in the Nativity at 7:00 just for a quick shoot around because we have a little window we can get in, or it's just like New Year's Day, getting us in, go, hey, you guys want to get shots up? I'll open the gym up. We got the machine going. He's very dedicated. He really cares about us. Playing at that high level really elevates your IQ. I think that's the big thing. Being able to handle those high pressure moments, because the AAU ball, especially at the level our flight team was playing at this spring and summer, you got to learn to handle pressure, not only offensively, but defensively. I think it helps you. It pushes yourself because you're playing against great athletes too. I think it makes you a tougher player. But the big thing, like I said earlier, is the IQ. I think just playing games at that level just makes you a smarter player, knowing what to do, when to do it, and speed changes too. Being able to play fast, slow it down, and then explode back, like dribbling the ball up the court. But I think it's helped not only me, but the rest of the flight players really grow in their basketball game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll have a little bit of fun before you get out of here. Let's do some this or that. This is Schuylkill County edition. We'll start it off. Trucks or Jeeps?
Probably Jeeps. Fun fact, I drive a minivan. So
we'll have to throw that in as a third option next time. Yeah. We'll go to the next one. Bonfires or block parties?
Probably a block party. I think those are pretty fun.
Yeah. And then hunting or fishing?
Neither. Golf.
Trey, you got to try it sometime. Hunting or fishing?
Yes, I do.
If you had to try one, what would it be?
Probably fish. I don't know. I'm too much of an animal lover to kill, to hunt.
Right. We'll do a food one. If you're going to get a slice of pizza, I know you're kind of from the Orangeburg area. If you want a slice of pizza, Russo's or Valenti's?
Probably Valenti's.
All right. That is Trey Keating, our T-102 Sports Now, Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. Well on his way to 2,000 points in his career. And, another stretch run coming up here. That's going to be exciting to see if he can make a push to get the Green Wave back in the state and district playoffs. Trey, want to appreciate thanks for joining us today, and good luck here down the stretch.
Yep, thank you for having me. It was fun.
Check us out next Wednesday for another T102sportsnow.com Fanelli, Evans, and Patel Athlete of the Week. At Fanelli, Evans, and Patel, get the best when faced with the worst.